All right, chip of the day. Well, not really chip of the day. It's a component of the day, but it has a number, kind of like a chip of the day. It says KSD301, and it's a bimetallic thermostat. It's, well, here, let me show you one first. It's one of these jobbers, okay? They have some posts and a little mounting flange and everything. So what these things are is they have a bimetallic disc in here, and it's like one of those little popper things. I don't know if you had one as a kid, but you like warmed them up and you press them and they like they curved over, and then you set them on the ground. They went ping, and they flew way up in the air. Wish I still had one of those. Maybe I have one somewhere, but I don't have one offhand. But anyway, so when they heat up, they pop. And then when they cool down, they pop the other direction. So that's how they're just a push button switch type of thing, but they operate on heat. Why I want to bring it up, you may have seen these and things that you need to heat something up, and one of these is in a coffee maker or something, and when it gets up to temperature, it turns off, things like that. Or as a protection device, things get too hot, it can disable things. So I think people have seen those uses before. I want to show a use today. So these come in various temperatures. You can pick a whole bunch of different temperatures, and they come as normally open or normally closed, okay? And so, yeah, so let's see here. These guys have some temperatures that they operate off of. And like I said, you can pick different ones, right? And they're about, I don't know, $1, $2, something like that. And you can get them in various shapes and sizes. So let me show you a couple that I have in my parts bin here. So there's these kinds that I just showed, and I have a couple of them because I bought them for a project. I'm going to show you the project. But you can mount them any way you want to. So I usually mount them like this. So the two holes, to screw it down to a plate, a mounting plate, and then you have your connectors over here. Some have solder connections on them instead of these push-on connectors. You can solder these too, but they're meant for the the kind of connector. But this one had wires on it. This one was PCB mount, and so it has two mounting lugs, and it was on a PC board. So it didn't connect to anything. It was just monitoring the air temperature. Okay, and usually written on them is the temperature that they're good for. So this one was 60 C. So if it got hotter than 60 C, it would tell the unit to shut off. It's getting too hot. And this was inside of the case. So if the internal temperature of the case was more than 60 C, it shut down. All right. The ones that mount onto things are nice because you can place them on pieces of metal or something that you're trying to monitor. All right. So I bought these for a project. These are 40 C. They fire at 40 C, and these are normally closed. So they pass electricity until they reach a particular temperature, and then they shut off, okay? So let me show you what I used them for. That's kind of the reason I'm shooting the video. All right, I built this DC load a while back, and it's in an old HP box, and I just reused the box. And I reused the power supply in the box and used that for my DC load. So it's pretty scrappy inside. It's kind of embarrassing, but we'll go ahead and look inside. Okay, here's inside the box. Like I said, I kind of used its own power supply, which is underneath. And I repurposed a heat sink that I got out of something, I don't know what it is, but it has a bunch of posts and stuff on it and stuff, which I just kind of used whatever holes they already had in the heat sink to put my thing on. And so this is the board that does the actual DC load. It has an LM324, And so it's just a comparator, you know, and it monitors the voltage across this resistor. So it's probably a 1 ohm or 0.1 ohm resistor. It is it's even smaller than that. It's a 0.05. Yeah, so this is a 0.05 ohm resistor, and it gets hot, so it's on a heat sink as well. And then there's a whole bunch of fins underneath. There's a bridge rectifier for the power supply, LM317 for the power supply, and then the big pass transistor for the DC load. This one is a IRFP 250, so pretty good honker there. Now, if you noticed though, right there is one of those thermal switches, okay? And it's mounted to the heatsink. So when I first built this thing, I needed a fan, because that's a big giant heatsink, and this thing is a DC load, so it definitely needs a fan. But when I turned it on, the fan came on all the time. Even though I wasn't really, you know, drawing any current, the fan was on. It was just annoying. So I put a thermal switch here. So the thing doesn't do anything. So this is a normally open, okay, normally open. And so when the temperature gets up to 40 C, it closes and turns on the fan. So it's perfectly quiet as long as the heat sink is below 40 C. And then when the heat sink gets up to 40, then, you know, the switch turns on. So it's pretty conservative. You could probably put a 60 C switch in there or something. That'd be fine too. But yeah, I thought I'd be conservative and use the 40 C. So it's quiet most of the time until I actually go to use the thing, and then it turns on the fan, which you can't hardly see it, but it's down. Trust me, it's down there. And yeah, it's a big giant heat sink. It's about 2 inches of fins down. So yeah, there you go. Not my best wiring job, but it gets things done using one of those HP prototype boards, gold plated, of course. And then it has a couple of those digital displays on the front right there, and a 10-turn pot. And that's all there is to it. Anyway, but the video is all about using the thermal switch in units that you have an annoying fan. You need to make sure that the fan's not needed all the time, but a lot of times I don't know why they run fans when it doesn't really need to be run yet. They didn't want to put in the cost of a thermal switch or something. You know, if you had a microprocessor in here, the microprocessor could go look at that thermistor and do the same thing. But I think this is like bulletproof, right? Having a bimetallic strip switch, it's just totally bulletproof. And, you know, even if your microprocessor goes on the wild, the switch is always going to work. So, yeah, I like them.